A respected youth sports coach in a small town. You get violently assaulted. I mean, you are actively bleeding, but the police standing on your porch. They just let your armed attacker walk free.
Right, which is just an unimaginable situation. What do you even do when the system completely ignores you?
Well, if you were Tyler Shaw, you head straight to the recording booth. You drop a viral hip-hop track citing exact police case numbers, and you basically force the government's hand. Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah, we are pulling from a really unusual stack of sources for you today.
We really are. We're looking at official city council addresses, some legal grievance letters, and a vast catalog of hip-hop lyrics by an artist and whistleblower named Tyler Shaw.
Who also goes by T. Shaw or Unfadable in his music.
Yeah.
And we are dropping you straight into the town of Dixon, Illinois.
Right. And we should make it very clear up front, we are impartially examining Shaw's documented claims here.
Yes, exactly. We're exploring his blueprint of using music and FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests, to allege systemic corruption, the dangerous use of criminal informants, and public record manipulation by the Dixon Police Department and Mayor Hughes.
Yeah, so to understand why Tyler Shaw is eventually standing in front of a city council threatening a massive federal lawsuit, we kind of have to start with the physical altercations.
The inciting incidents.
Right. So Shaw's records point us to August 6, 2025. This is case 25D-08675. Shaw is a youth football and wrestling coach. He's been doing this for 13 years in the Sauk Valley grid.
A very established community figure.
Yeah, definitely. But on this night, he suffers head lacerations and an assault.
And the specific details he outlines in his grievance letters are pretty alarming. According to Shaw, a known felon named Chester Green answered the door holding a firearm.
Which is wild.
It is. And Shaw claims that the responding officers Grady and Jen, they took the felon's word that the gun was just an airsoft weapon.
Without even checking it.
Right, they didn't physically check it, according to his claims. Instead, they forced Shaw, the bleeding victim, off the property, while the armed felon was just allowed to stay inside.
See, from a purely tactical perspective, that defies basic police protocol. I mean, you don't leave a potential firearm unchecked at the scene of a violent crime.
Especially with a known felon who legally cannot possess a firearm. But, Shaw's filings argue this wasn't just a careless oversight by two officers on a bad night.
He points to a prior pattern, right?
Yeah, exactly. He connects it to a 2023 case 23D-03126. Police were called to his home, and Shaw maintains he was completely sober, while the other party was highly intoxicated.
But the police allegedly huddle up and decide to take Tyler, the sober homeowner, to jail, basically saying, let the courts figure it out.
Which leaves the citizen to navigate the whole criminal justice machine on their own dime.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second, because I want to push back on that 2023 case. If the police truly wanted to target him, why did the state abruptly dismiss all charges against him in an empty courtroom right at the moment of jury selection? I mean, doesn't that show the system worked?
That is the conventional way we view a dismissal, right? But if you look at Shaw's perspective on municipal law enforcement tactics, the punishment is the process.
Wait, meaning the goal isn't necessarily to win in court?
Exactly. The strategy isn't always to get a conviction. It's to use the stress, the massive financial strain of retaining a defense attorney, the missed work days, to just exhaust innocent citizens.
Ah, so they want to force a plea deal just to make the nightmare stop.
Right. So a last-minute dismissal isn't really a victory. It's just the end of the financial bleeding.
Wow. Okay, so that brings us to the aftermath of the August 2025 assault. Shaw's trying to figure out why the police would allegedly protect this armed man who assaulted him.
Why leave the gun unchecked, right?
Right, so he starts filing FOIA requests, and his digging leads him to a highly controversial law enforcement mechanism.
Confidential informants or CIs.
This is where things get really murky. Shaw requests FOIA records for that August assault, and he discovers only 3 out of the 5 people present are actually listed on the report.
Which is a massive red flag. He alleges the official report intentionally omitted 2 key witnesses.
Chester Green and a woman named Brenda Higley.
Exactly. He asserts they were scrubbed to protect their status as informants.
And then when Shaw asks for the body cam footage to prove the gun existed and that the officers ignored it, the Dixon Police Department flatly denies the FOIA request.
Calling it unduly burdensome.
Yeah, unduly burdensome for a 30-minute body cam video.
Which is a fascinating loophole. I mean, the intent of that exemption is to protect an agency from having to dig through, decades of emails.
Not a single video of a specific violent crime.
Right. It suggests an institutional unwillingness to be transparent rather than a technical inability to provide the file.
And the real-world danger of this alleged protection escalates in December 2025. Chester Green allegedly brandishes a knife at Shaw in a local Walmart parking lot.
With absolutely no police report generated.
Which is crazy. And when Shaw takes this evidence to the city administrator, the response he allegedly receives is, have you ever thought about moving?
Just unbelievable.
I mean, this sounds like a principal giving the school bully a permanent hall pass to terrorize the hallways just because the bully occasionally whispers who is chewing gum in class.
That is a perfect analogy. And what's fascinating here is the immense legal and ethical danger Shaw is highlighting.
Because they're armed felons.
Yes. Armed, unpredictable felons operating on the taxpayer's dime with this perceived immunity. They're operating completely outside the bounds of federal firearm laws.
So Shaw is backed into a corner. Traditional legal avenues are blocked, his FOIA requests are denied, and town leadership is allegedly telling him to leave town.
So what does he do? He realizes paper trails can be buried, but viral art cannot.
Right, he hits the recording booth. He starts dropping tracks with titles like Dixon 53 Million, FOIA Unredacted, and Truth Bomb.
And he turns his lyrics into literal legal indictments. This isn't just vague anger.
No, he drops actual case numbers. Like 25D-08675 is right there in the narratives. He names alleged informants and crooked players, John Webb, Jackie, Lil G, Baby G.
He outlines the entire DPD cover-up on a beat.
And it completely works. A video hits 200,000 views in just 4 weeks.
Which is massive for a small-town issue.
Yeah. Shaw claims the public shaming was so intense that the state was finally forced to arrest his attacker a month later. There's this one lyric where he says, "You didn't follow the law, you followed the views."
It's brilliant.
Is this the future of accountability? Like, is a viral hip-hop track essentially the new FOIA request for a digital generation?
It honestly might be. Shaw brilliantly turns his trauma into a trademark here. by converting complex civic negligence into a catchy, unignorable format.
You can't redact an MP3.
Exactly. He bypasses the institutional stonewalling and takes his case directly to the court of public opinion.
Which leads us to the climax of this whole thing. Here's where it gets really interesting. The pressure from these tracks culminates in a dramatic showdown at City Council on May 18th, 2026.
Shaw steps right up to the microphone.
He hands a bait-stamped evidence packet directly to the city clerk, which means every page is numbered, making his FOIA logs, injury photos, and witness statements a permanent public record.
They can never claim they didn't see it. And then he formally threatens a Monell claim.
Okay, remind us what a Monell claim is.
It's a federal civil rights lawsuit. You basically allege the city has a deep-rooted custom, policy, and practice of constitutional violations.
And the 14th Amendment, right, equal protection.
Yes. And he chillingly reminds the council of Dixon's infamous history. He brings up the past $53 million embezzlement scandal by Rita Crundwell.
Warning them that looking the other way has cost the town dearly before.
And that is when the meeting completely devolves.
Yeah, according to Shaw, when he quotes Mayor Hughes's past dismissive comments, the mayor aggressively interrupts him, denies the words, cuts his speaking time, and orders the police to forcibly escort Shaw out.
And other board members were escorted out right after him.
But wait, it gets crazier. Shaw's follow-up notice of grievance alleges the city intentionally edited the official broadcast video of the meeting.
To hide the mayor's hostility and Shaw's removal.
Right. He demands the raw footage be preserved. The incredible irony here. The city allegedly tampered with the public video record of a meeting where a citizen was complaining about the tampering of public police records.
It's staggering. But this isn't just about a scuffle at a podium. It's a profound fight over who controls the official narrative of a community.
Because if the city edits that video, they're basically curating reality.
Right. And they invite massive federal liability when they use law enforcement to silence First Amendment rights and then allegedly destroy the evidence of doing it.
So to bring it all together for you listening, we've journeyed from an ignored head injury and an allegedly invisible firearm in August 2025
through a brilliant viral hip-hop crusade,
all the way to a fiery city council ejection in May 2026. And remember, these are Tyler Shaw's documented allegations. This David and Goliath battle between a local artist and a municipal machine is still actively unfolding.
It's a real-time stress test of local accountability.
It really is. And it leaves us with a provocative question to chew on. We are taught to implicitly trust the official public record, right? The stamped police reports, the city council live streams.
Official archives.
Exactly. But if a municipality can simply edit a live stream or leave names off a report to protect their interests, does the true historical record of a community actually live in the rebellious art, the viral videos, and the songs of the people who refuse to be silenced?